And here's Vader one last time, doing a very aggressive attack with his lightsaber, about to put the smack down.
Sean Solo Geek.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Sean Solo 8, and today I'll be going over another Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure review. Today we've got Darth Vader from Rogue One, another amazing entrance from Disney's Star Wars that we've gotten, including our most recent Luke Skywalker mind-blowing scene. No spoilers in case you haven't seen it. I won't even mention it. Let me know in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. Of course you do, but without further ado, let's take a closer look at this Darth Vader. The scene is straight out of the hallway in Rogue One. What an epic scene. I'll never forget the first time I saw it. Absolutely mind-blown. Went to the theater the next day to watch it again, and I watched it in 3D a third time. So that's what Star Wars movies should be about: going to the theater over and over and over with your friends, trying to bring everybody that you know to go and see it. Pure joy. I've heard nothing but complaints about this figure on Twitter, so I'm gonna find out for myself. I haven't seen any of those videos. We'll find out how similar my thoughts are compared to some of the others out there. He is VC 178 in the Vintage Collection. This wave right here is almost impossible to find, and not only that, they're some of the greatest figures ever created in the Star Wars universe. There is the UPC, if anybody is still hunting this down. So boom, Darth Vader's out of the package. As you can see, he's way better than I thought he was. For some reason I thought he was going to have a rubber cape, but no, it is definitely like a cloth vinyl type material, but he looks epic just like he does on the package, even way better. So let me throw him in another pose and let's see how else we can get this guy. And here's Vader in just a casual pose with his cape over his shoulders. That's the only bummer I can think of, is I wish it would actually come together in a closed shape to cover up his whole costume. That would have been really cool. And as you can see how massive his cape is, Vader can kneel slightly. So if you want him posing talking to the Emperor, it is possible with those thicker rubber pieces on his cape. And Vader dual wields just fine when he's facing down Obi-Wan Kenobi in his final battles. And here's Vader one last time, doing a very aggressive attack with his lightsaber, about to put the smack down. So without further ado, let me get him off this turntable and let's take a closer look at Darth Vader. So scale-wise, Vader next to Luke looks really, really good. I definitely am digging the scales. Let me know if you guys in the comments below think Vader should be a little bit taller. I think it's just fine. It's going to look absolutely great. So we're going to put Luke away. We're going to take a look at Vader's saber that he comes with. It is kind of loose in this hand right here, but you can actually squeeze these hands together to make it fit a little bit more firm. And as you can see, Vader stands really, really well. This is the saber that he comes with. And it doesn't feel like a removable hilt on this one. Looks like that's stuck together pretty good, because I don't feel any spin or any way that coming off. But it's your typical Darth Vader lightsaber. The cape is actually huge. Look at that again. You've got that Batman style going on, but what's a bummer is when I try to pop off his head, yeah, it's just one piece with a hole on there. It'd been nice if it was one of the ones on a chain where we could actually droop it over like that and keep them cloth. I think that would have been really cool. Look at the size of that. It's similar to Batman. I absolutely love it, because there's a lot of photos where he holds his lightsaber and he's aiming towards the ground. I wonder if I can actually get him to do that. Well, that's about as close as you're getting to him doing that, but it was on like a Topps card. I don't know if any of you guys know what I'm talking about, but there's a pretty cool poster of Vader doing that. And I got the Black Series version to do it, but you just can't quite get him to do this because he has no swivel in his wrists. But we're going to go over that. The coolest thing about this Vader, and everybody knows it, are those red eyes. Look at those. They're just so awesome, smoky, and evilly. The cloth cape is pretty cool. You can see through it with my fingers on there. And of course, you have his famous little chest breathing apparatus. Not too sure what that is. The belt is actually molded onto the rubber piece and the figure itself there. And the chest does actually have a little bit of gray paint on there. And these shoulders are definitely a little bit weird. Look, check that out. There's like a hinge in there that pops out when you lift it up. But if that gives us better articulation, I'll take it all day. These rubber pieces are pretty soft, as you can see, so you can bend them and put them in different poses. That looks as if it is definitely not intended to be removed, which is a bummer. If they would have given us that piece cloth too, this figure would be 100% perfect. And then the, of course, swivel hands would have been good with some hinges. Ultimately, that's what we needed, with some hinges. But yeah, his arms do raise up pretty good. Of course, they're going to rotate 360. They pop up to about right there. You can see the detail. Look at that. It looks really great. The glove looks sweet. But yeah, no swivel. There is a wrist swivel right here, but there's no hinge in the hand, which is a little bit of a bummer. His fingers are soft, so you can actually push them in to close them. Again, his cape has no chain right here, which I wish that had. He does twist in the waist pretty good. There's a very little crunch and very minimal crunch back, but Vader wasn't doing too many dynamic poses. He doesn't tilt down at all, and he doesn't tilt up at all. He does show a tiny bit of a motion, but ultimately, yeah, his head will just pop right off, and just a little joint in there that doesn't move at all. So you just pop the cape on over the peg, and you just stick the head onto the peg. This is my only vintage collection Vader that I have. I have some 5 POA, I have the Hyper Reel, and I also have the Black Series, but this is my first. These legs are similar to the review that I did on Moff Gideon. Depending on where you turn him, he won't kick up very high at all, or kick back. So you have to actually twist the inside of the ball inside of the leg there, and that's where you get the articulation. If you turn it in the right position, he will kick up pretty good. And you can see the hinge right here built in where it's going to pop up. See how that pops up like that? So you can definitely get some articulation in there. And then, of course, you would bend it like that to get them to bend. But yeah, it's all in this little joint on the inside there, which is really, really weird. I don't know why they just can't shrink down the Black Series. Maybe it's cost. I'm not sure what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. The boots look really, really good on both sides. There is a nice swivel in that knee. They do bend up to about right there. And you can see the shin guard, which looks really cool. There is no rocker on Vader. There is a pretty nice hinge in there. That's going to wrap up my Darth Vader video. Thanks for checking it out. If you're new around here, consider subscribing and check out one of the videos up on the screen. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video.